Hi, I'm Eric Boutilier-Brown, and I'm standing outside ViewPoint Gallery on a gray and slightly damp Thursday evening, the opening night for Symmetry in Stone. So we'll go inside. So here we are inside ViewPoint Gallery Thursday evening, just before the opening of Symmetry in Stone. This exhibition is the third exhibition by me since we moved to this new location, and probably the one that I feel takes the most use of the space and makes the most of the location that we're in. The exhibition features images of 11 cathedrals and abbeys in southwest Britain, all the way from the very southern coast along the English Channel up to the Welsh border. We've got images as large as 54-inch high, two panoramics of ceilings of Winchester and Salisbury, and then a number of 23 by 32-inch enlargements featuring the strongest images in the exhibition. The exhibition fulfills, I don't know, a 25-year dream of going back to Europe and photographing the Gothic architecture and cathedrals that I fell in love with as a child when I lived in York for several years. When we look at the exhibition, I do think it ties into the other two shows I've had since ViewPoint moved to its new location. The older show, Memory of Water, dealt with the water nudes, and it was all about light and reflection in the body. And then, more recently, Frozen Light featured images of flowers frozen in ice, again focusing on light and the interplay of light and color. When we look at the exhibition here, there's no denying it's about light, but it's also about form. But in this case, it's about human-created forms as opposed to the nature forms of flowers or the human body. And so here I'm kind of bringing together a number of elements that have flown through my work over the last 25 years into a set of images that celebrate both human creativity, the beauty of light, shape, and form, and my love of architecture. The exhibition runs until the end of May here at ViewPoint Gallery in Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's open Tuesday through Sunday from noon until 5 p.m. and there is an artist talk on Sunday, May 15th at 2 o'clock with me and whoever else shows up.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I came down because I know Eric slightly, and he sent me an invitation, and I'm stunned at that one in particular just because of the color. So it's very beautiful. I'm enjoying the show.
You know, I'm row number 2. That's my job. I make stones in row number 2. And how it would feel to then, 10 years later, go back and look at that wall that you built in this whole grand space. And all through it, I was going back over and over to the simple question of what would it feel like to build these when you couldn't read, you couldn't write, you had a life that was a single course, and your parents and your parents' parents and everybody you've ever known were in that world.
Some of those stones would have been made by my grandfather.
Yeah, and I
finished what he started.
Yeah, and I came on an aeroplane, and I'm visiting 13 or 11 of these over a week, and I'm going like one at a time, very quickly. There was always this quiet, like, wow factor while making the images of just looking at it and almost drinking it in, because it's just so overwhelmingly amazing, and that's what I'm hoping is conveyed through the pictures. So it's William of Wickham, who was the Bishop of Winchester and founded Winchester College and New College, Oxford, which is now called Oxford University. And his motto was, "Manners maketh man." He believed in manners. And he actually built that while he was alive, and that's where he went to sing, because he liked the acoustics in it. And then he died and they put him in a permanently. Yeah. The hardest thing for me was images like that, and the one on the top of the next row where it was strong incandescent mixed with visible light, and how to blend the two. It's very hard. Bumping into you at Philip's party. Who knows how to work it? Yeah. Whenever you know what the name works, just let me know.
Find somebody to send it to them. Oh, wow.
We do. That might help. Another thing, if it's a local
See what she did on that picture. You know what I mean, right? Let me know how that goes for you. Water running. Water running in the
He takes them out to stitches and
It's just amazing. It's breathtaking. I'd love to go here someday. Like, it's absolutely amazing. I love his work. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Are you photographers?
Yes. Yeah. We're students. Yeah. We're students, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, look at the lines. And they just like follow you up to the, like they just follow you up to the middle, right to the center, yeah? I can't get over like the detail in the ceiling. It's absolutely spectacular. I just
and that's accurate. Then you take the green out, you downplay the green, downplay the blue, and you're left with all the warm yellow stone. So it's fairly accurate to what the stone is, but because the day was so incredibly sunny and the sunlight was coming this way, the only light on the ceiling was coming from green grass. It's nothing but this is a 10 to 20, so a super wide angle thing with this and that, whereas these are all as wide, but it's a specialty lens called a tilt shift lens. So yeah, so you keep the camera perfectly level and you move the lens up. And so it's sort of like you get taller. And the advantage when you look at images like this is the lens is dead center, and I then shift the lens up. So I'm making one image, which is here, and I make that image, then I make here, and then I make that. And then in Photoshop, I'm layering those together to give one seamless perspective that literally is looking at one end of the church and the other.
You must take your tripod or whatever.
Nope, the camera's absolutely perfectly still. The only thing moving is the lens. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like, oh, we got the right side. And the problem actually, this is all for you.